start with Sean Strickland. Once again, he's making waves with some seriously bold comments about the UFC. Now, we all know Sean is never one to keep quiet. Over the years, he's said some wild things, and somehow he's always dodged any major punishment from the UFC. But this time, things might change. Strickland didn't hold back in a recent chat with Aiden Ross. He went straight for the UFC's jugular. Fighter pay. This has always been a touchy subject, but Sean cranked it up to the max.
I don't know, dude. Like, the problem with the UFC, dude, is they don't pay anybody. They don't pay guys. So, like, the reason why you're seeing everybody in the rosters up Ahmed and, you know, Jose and whatever Brazilian name, you know, it's because, like, the UFC isn't paying you guys money. So I think what you're going to have is you're going to have an entire roster filled of just foreigners. Don't get me wrong, dude, it's fun to go watch two Dagestani caveman fight, but at some point, dude, like, they aren't American, they don't have American beliefs, they don't have American ideals, so it's like, at some point, when the whole roster doesn't speak English because the UFC is so cheap and they don't pay anybody anything, like, at some point, so they pay the top 5 and pretty good, but they don't pay, like, you would make more money working out for a year.
Fans are now wondering if Dana White and the UFC big bosses are getting tired of Sean's outbursts. Dana has always said he's all for free speech, but when you call out your own company again and again, especially about money, that can hit a nerve. Will they try to silence him? Or worse, push him out? Now, moving on to Khamzat Chimaev, who recently freaked fans out with a post. He showed a picture of his hand covered in gnarly blisters. It looked bad. Fans started panicking. Is he injured? Is he still going to fight? But not long after, Khamzat calmed everyone down. He said he was fine and, as usual, took a playful jab at Kamaru Usman at the end.
I am good. Life is good. Bilal is good. Paysinger is good. Coffee is here. Kamaru Usman is there.
Then came another pose, Khamzat training, fists wrapped, looking focused and ready.
Are you?
So now the big question, are you hyped for UFC 319? Who's your pick, Khamzat or Dricus du Plessis? But let's talk about a clip that really got people talking. Khabib Nurmagomedov refused to shake a female reporter's hand. The clip shows her offering it and him politely declining. He then shook hands with every man around her. It wasn't meant to be disrespectful. Khabib follows Islamic beliefs that don't allow physical contact with women who aren't family. The reporter even apologized after realizing the mistake. Fans online had a lot to say. Some praised him for sticking to his values. Others were angry, calling it outdated, or even but many defended him hard. They said it was his faith and people shouldn't be surprised. He didn't yell, he didn't shame her, one fan wrote. He just kept it respectful. Another said the same world that's okay with women being half naked is mad about this? Get real. Some even said the moment felt staged, like it was done just to create drama. Whatever the case, it's gone viral and Khabib once again proved he lives by his code. Now let's jump to Ian Garry. This guy is ambitious. He's eyeing a fight with none other than Islam Makhachev. Right now, Islam is dominating. He's pound for pound #1. But Ian, he's ready to challenge him if Islam can grab the welterweight belt first. Garry just got a big win over Carlos Price. That fight helped him bounce back after a tough loss to Shavkat Rakhmonov. And now, he's telling the world, if Islam wins that belt, I'm coming for him. He said there's no bad blood, nothing like the beef Conor McGregor and Khabib had, but if it turns into Ireland versus Dagestan, he's okay with that too. Here's what Ian said in his interview: we can focus on the past or we can focus on now. Islam's #1. If he gets the welterweight title, I want to beat him, take that belt and prove I'm the best. Now that's a bold statement. Think these fights happen? You think fans will lean into the cultural clash or focus on the fighters themselves? Next up, drama at UFC Vegas 107. Aaron Blanchfield was Macy Barber. Was supposed to be a huge fight, but just minutes before the fight was supposed to start, it was cancelled. Yep, Macy Barber was pulled from the card at the last second. Why? We didn't know at first. But Aaron Blanchfield didn't hold back. In the press conference after, she let loose.
I feel like I'm still pretty in disbelief right now. You know, I feel like I was in disbelief yesterday when she missed weight because we knew about this fight since January. You could have been 50 pounds overweight and still made weight. You know what I mean? So she missed weight. Then she gets to Saturday. She gets to the locker room. I'm fully ready to go. She's supposed to be ready to go. Supposedly now she has like all these health issues right when we were supposed to fight. I think it's pretty crazy, pretty unprofessional. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight her again.
She was clearly frustrated, and it came out later that Barber had failed to make weight the day before. Then rumors started swirling had she suffered a medical emergency. Some reports said she had a seizure, but nothing official came from the UFC, just silence. It's also worth noting Barber hadn't fought since March 2024 when she beat Caitlin Kerman. Silence, it's often asked. How much was she talking us out? After that, she was hospitalized for pneumonia, strep, and a staph infection, so maybe her body wasn't fully ready. The good news? Blanchfield still got paid her full fight purse, both the show and win bonus. Her team confirmed it later. Macy later spoke out too. She said, "Not what I had planned. Thank you for the prayers. I owe an apology to UFC, Dana White, Blanchfield, and the fans. This was just a bad hand. I'll be back." Back to the bantamweight division, Merab Dvalishvili is heating things up. He's preparing to face Sean O'Malley again at UFC 316. And he's coming in with a message. I took it easy last time. This time, I'm smashing him. In their last fight, Merab won by unanimous decision. He dominated with his wrestling, but some fans and O'Malley argued it was closer than it looked. Now, Merab is saying he went easy on purpose. He even joked that he kissed O'Malley during the fight, and this time, no kisses, just pain. He said, "This time, I'm finishing him." I just want to make a statement. Will Sugar Sean bounce back, or will Merab prove he was holding back all along? Now, about the Noshi UFC card. Last year's event was a huge deal. Held at the Sphere, 2 title fights, insane atmosphere, everyone loved it. This year, not the same. Originally, the UFC planned to hold Noshi UFC in Guadalajara, Mexico. There were rumors about Alexander Volkanovski and Yair Rodriguez headlining. But now, it's official. The event is moving to San Antonio, Texas, and it's been downgraded to just a fight night card. The reason? Arena construction delays in Mexico. Will it still be exciting? Probably. UFC will still want to pack the card with Mexican fighters, but the downgrade definitely stings. Fans were expecting a pay-per-view, not a mid-tier card. Next, some quick updates from around the UFC. On August 23, UFC is heading to Shanghai, China. One of the matchups, flyweight fighter Lonar Kavanaugh versus Charles Johnson. Kavanaugh is on a winning streak. Johnson, however, just lost and is looking for a comeback. Also fighting that night, Yuran Sarabaldi versus DR Nurgazi. Both are coming off their first losses. That fight might be a war. Jared Gordon is also making waves. After knocking out Thiago Moises, he's calling for a top 15 opponent, specifically Benoit Saint-Denis. Jared said, "I want BSD. I know I'm only on a 1-fight streak, but I feel like I've actually won my last 6. I deserve this shot." And fans are asking, will BSD accept? He's ranked 13. Will he risk that spot? Meanwhile, the light heavyweight division is stuck in limbo. Magomed Ankalaev beat Alex Pereira in March. Many expected a rematch, but nothing is confirmed yet. Ankalaev's camp is now hinting that Pereira might be done. One post said, "Alex done, he never coming back, let's move on." Fans are confused. Is Poetin retiring? Is the UFC dragging their feet? Or is Alex just taking time off? Now, let's talk Jon Jones. For months, people have been begging to see Jon Jones fight Tom Aspinall and unify the heavyweight titles. But here we are, in June, and still, nothing is confirmed. However, Jones recently made a few comments at a seminar that have fans buzzing. Could he finally be hinting that the fight is happening?
When are you fighting Tom?
I was waiting for it.
The UFC, and Tom, we all got a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. They're one of the biggest organizations in sports, and right now Tom and I have agreed to wait for the UFC to make their announcements.
Now fans are trying to decode it. Is Jones coming back to fight Tom, or is he retiring? To add to the chaos, there's a petition going around asking the UFC to strip Jon of the heavyweight title. There's also a counter petition saying he should stay champ. Jones responded to all of this in true Jon Jones fashion by trolling. He said, "Just wrapped up the biggest seminar in Phuket history. Half the crowd flew in from the UK. Massive shout out to my guy Tom for all the free promo." Tom replied, "My pleasure, Jon. Glad you're enjoying retirement." And now, the most shocking news of all, the most shocking moment in this entire UFC update comes from a disturbing claim involving Jon Jones. Former UFC referee Big John McCarthy has made a serious and extremely uncomfortable accusation. According to him, Jon Jones allegedly did something wildly inappropriate to a male commissioner before one of his fights. Let's break it down. McCarthy says that Jon Jones pretended to perform an explicit adult act on the commissioner and did it in front of others as a joke. McCarthy says Jones had the man get down on the ground and then acted out the disturbing gesture without any sort of consent. And if that wasn't shocking enough, Jones allegedly followed it up by asking this question: "Would it be illegal if I did this to my opponent?" McCarthy was stunned. He says he couldn't believe what he witnessed. He also said it was wildly inappropriate, especially because this was done in a professional setting, and according to McCarthy, the commissioner was not okay with it. It wasn't funny, it was uncomfortable, and it crossed a serious line.
But when I went into Jon's locker room, he's bouncing around, he's having a good time. And so I got a question for you. I said, "Yeah, what's your question?" And he says, I need somebody. And there's an individual there, and that individual was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and was working for the commission. And he says, "Is someone getting on the ground for me?" Right? And so this guy, being a ground guy and being someone that was, man, I'm in Jon Jones's locker room. This is great. And so he says, "Oh, I'll do it for you." He says, I know how to roll." And so he goes down. He says, just put me in guard, right? And then Jon decides to do a backward, saying, "What if I do this?" Right? This isn't illegal, right? And the guy who was on the ground, quickly his eyes went, as big as they could get. Like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Jon, knock it off, right?" And I helped the person up. And he goes, "I'm just joking." And he goes, but really, what could you do? I said, "I could disqualify you for being unsportsmanlike. Go ahead and do it. Let's see what happens."
I could see if he did that like with a buddy of his, like goofing
That's
around.
different.
That's different than some random commissioner in the back, a random fan, a random person who's working as an usher or something like that. You're like, "Yeah, get down here," and then you do it to some person you've never met before.
Dude, and that's why Greg Jackson comes up to me and says, "Jon, I'm sorry you did that." And I go, "Greg, it ain't you." And I go, "It's just a..."
Yep. I mean, like I said, a lot of the choices that he's made throughout his life has directly affected, I think, how people perceive him.
This clip has sent the MMA world into a frenzy. Fans are asking, why hasn't this been talked about until now? If it happened years ago, why is it just now coming out? And will the UFC take action? Some believe McCarthy is finally telling the truth about behind-the-scenes behavior that's been covered up for too long. Others are skeptical, asking, why say it now? Why after all these years? But what's clear is that Jon Jones is once again in the center of controversy. This is a man who has had a legendary career, a resume filled with huge wins and major title defenses. But along the way, he's also dealt with drug suspensions, run-ins with the law, hit-and-run incidents, and now it adds fuel to the fire about whether the UFC is protecting Jon, whether they're trying to keep his image clean despite a long history of scandals, whether they're afraid of what happens to their heavyweight division if they lose him. Now fans are even more divided. Some are demanding he be stripped of the title immediately, that he's had too many chances, that if any other fighter had done even half of what Jon's done, they'd be gone. Others say no way, innocent until proven guilty. They're waiting for more information or for Jon to respond directly. As of now, Jon hasn't said a word about McCarthy's claims. No statement, no denial, no social media post, just silence. And that silence, it's only making things more tense. Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall, who fans believe deserves the undisputed heavyweight shot, is continuing to train, continuing to speak out, and continuing to throw shade at Jon for ducking him. This is how he responded to the viral clip of Jones trolling UK fans and saying, "Thanks for the free promo, glad you're enjoying retirement." It's clear Tom doesn't think Jon is coming back, and fans are starting to agree. If Jon's not fighting, if he's not responding to allegations, and if he's holding onto the belt without defending it, then what's next? Will Dana White finally force a unification bout, with or without Jon? Will the UFC strip him quietly and move on? Or will they keep riding the Jon Jones train no matter what happens, no matter how many scandals pile up? At this point, it's anybody's guess. But what we know for sure is that UFC's heavyweight division is in chaos, and Jon Jones is at the center of it all.